before we move any further in our texturing, let's discuss a common problem that we'll probably come upon when using Photoshop document textures within Maya. Okay, so let's take a look at where we left off. We had the skin base, and then we came in and painted this channel texture on top of it. Okay, and if we take a look at our Maya scene, this is what we get. Okay, and we can take a look at the PSD color file right here, and everything looks pretty normal. Okay, but if we go back to Photoshop, and let's say that on this channel layer, we actually wanted to make it a little bit transparent so that a little bit more of this skin texture shows through. Well, right now, if we were to lower the opacity of this and then save our Photoshop document, okay, let's go back into Maya. Let's update this, and we'll see an issue right away. Okay, and that is that our channel texture has turned yellow. Okay, and this is just a inconsistency with the Photoshop document being imported into Maya, just different file formats. There is, though, a way to fix this problem. What we can do is go back to Photoshop, and in this channel texture, let's go ahead and make a new layer just above it. Okay, it doesn't really matter what the layer is called. Now what we can do is select this new layer and the channel layer and link these together. Okay, and we can do that by just clicking on this little box next to the icon. Okay, and now what we can do is in this menu up in the upper corner of the layers palette, we can merge linked, or I usually just use the shortcut Control E. Okay, so let's merge these linked layers, and by linking these and merging these, what we now have is this same channel texture, but since it was merged with another layer, now this resets back to 100% opacity. Okay, so even though, let me just go ahead and undo this step, we had our channels layer set to about 50% opacity, the layer above it is 100%. Okay, so we link these two layers, and now this merged layer now becomes 100% opacity. Okay, so with this merged down, we can go ahead and save this, and now when we reload, everything should be okay. Okay, give this, there we go. Now that's had a chance to update, and now we have this texture with a little bit of transparency in it, which is really what we need. Another thing that I want to do before we move on is it is getting pretty tedious to have to come into our Hypershade and update this PSD texture all the time. What I really would like to be able to do is just simply make a shelf icon out of that. So that way I can go ahead and just stay in my perspective view all the time, and I never have to go back to my Hypershade. So let's go ahead and make a shelf icon out of this update PSD textures command. Okay, so what we can do is let's click on the script editor button down here in the lower corner, and it's probably got quite a bit of stuff already in there from all the work that we've been doing since the beginning of this scene. So what we can do to go ahead and clear this out, let's go up to Edit, and let's clear the history. Okay, that'll go ahead and just clear this out for us. Now, in order to get this command to register in the script editor, what we need to do is under Script, let's turn on Echo All Commands. Okay, now with this Echo All Commands turned on, what we can do is go up to Edit PSD Textures, click on it, and that Update PSD Textures registers in the script editor. We can now see the command that was just executed, which this is it here. So what we can do now is just take this, let's highlight this, and middle click, and drag it up to the shelf. Okay, so now I never have to leave my perspective view. I've got now that Update PSD Textures in my shelf icon. So for me, since I'm working in this pretty limited space, that's going to really be helpful. And overall, it's just gonna probably be a big time saver for you because you now no longer have to go through and dig through this menu to find what you're looking for. Okay, so now that we've got everything squared away, in the next video we'll go ahead and start to add some more detail to this texture.